An awful lot of people in here. Does anybody have the ability to DM me the channel that I'm supposed to be paying attention to? Like the chat one?
Lynn and I were chatting about it, and the masterclass panel should be fine.
Awesome.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. Yeah, me, Discord. No understanding. All right, I finally got into the right place at the right time. Hi, everybody. Cham, say hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm surprised this many people want to hear me blather on about stuff.
They came for Lynn.
That's true. Everybody came here for Lynn. I think that's really the reality of things.
It's great to see everybody here, and I don't believe. I promise I won't use my YouTube voice and scare the heck out of people. Hello, everybody. No, I won't do that.
I won't even be able to use my normal voice. I'm on Apple headphones. No, wait. They're Huawei knockoff headphones.
Oh, well, you sound very, very, very handsome, I'm sure.
Oh.
That's how it works.
Well, I'm sure you've got me beat on that one. But anyways.
Oh, we are very, very happy to be running this panel because it is something that is true to our hearts. I'd like to start by introducing the other two members of the panel. First of all, chamunks, could you tell us all about yourself? And we'll get started.
Well, Lynn, thank you. I guess I stumbled on this project a few years ago called Atheon, and ended up some gentleman named Brian Rapp had a long legacy of stuff that I ended up inheriting, and fast forward a while and eat way too much dinner and try and do a talk on a phone instead of at my computer, and that's where I am now. If you need anything else, there's always a website. Hey, you can check out. It's atheon.net, but I'm sure you may know. So
no worries. All right, we also have here a VIP, Garrett Zimmer. Garrett is the founder of MindGauge. Say hello and tell us about yourself.
Hi. Well, I don't know how I'm going to follow that amazing life story of chamunks. I mean, I guess I packed too much into my life. Chamunks, I think you have a lot more going for you than just that short little snippet, but I'm sure that'll come up.
Yes.
I've had the pleasure. So I came from a former background of being a YouTuber. So I'm also known as PBJellyGames, and I got a chance to hang out with Gizzy Gaza and Tomahawk 1989, Netty Plays, even Stampy. I've played in games with him and hung out with those guys for a long time. And I kind of moved myself into the build world because I saw this great, tremendous need for education to be driven by builders. You know, the reality is I wanted to see Minecraft drive forward into education. I thought, you know, I've seen some of these amazing builders do amazing things, and to be able to bring some of those showcases into the world as classroom modules would be fantastic. So I started MindGauge up doing just that, brought Lynn on board very shortly after we started, and we've been doing it ever since. I'm now one of the 60 Minecraft mentors around the world, harnessed by Microsoft to help engage teachers in the world of Minecraft and bring it to their classrooms. But I'll tell you one little thing to kind of give a boost to chamunks over here. I've had the opportunity, and we've had the opportunity with MindGauge to work with Atheon a couple of times with fantastic results, amazing results for some of our projects, working with Intel and a number of other organizations, and bringing it into education. So chamunks has done a great job so far working with that, and we're happy to be partnering with them.
Oh, you can blame my team for that one. I'm just the guy.
Well, that too. That too. Kev, I see a couple of names that I recognize in here. Kevisaurus, for example.
Yay, Kevy.
Brilliant builder. And if you do /warp medical, you'll be able to see one of his pieces that he did for us in Intel. But as well, another person I do want to give a shout out to before I forget is OKK70, who is also an educator, and she is also in the education field and a builder as well. So again, it's nice to see such good representation here. Anyway, that's enough out of me.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I'm Lynne Telfer. I've been involved with Minecraft for, coming up 5 years, it feels like. I started just by building. I wanted to make sure that Minecraft chat was safe for my daughter. That was the first thing that I was checking out.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, so I basically got on there and watched what was said, and I found that the community was friendly, supportive, wonderful, and I got sucked in basically, and she and I built together. I ended up on a wonderful build server called Puego, which became Puego Insomnia, which became Athian. And I have absolutely had a joy of building. And I noticed that a lot of my students did too. And I noticed that there was a lot of wonderful skills and knowledge and qualities that came out of that. And so when Garrett asked almost 2 years ago to the day, hey, you interested in doing anything educational with Minecraft? Wow, I don't think we've had a day that we haven't discussed it. So it became a real passion to join education and Minecraft together. And it has just gone from strength to strength. Hence, here we are. So it's been incredible. So let's start talking about Athian itself. I must admit I'm biased because I've had such an affinity with the community, and people are still there that were there years ago. And to me, that says a lot about the community. The building has been high quality all the way through, and that's where I learned. That's really where I learned to build and really, really enjoy it and be challenged by it. So, chamunks, tell us all about Athian.
Well, what would you like to know, really?
Everything about it, your philosophy of why it exists, the successes, everything.
Well, it's interesting because it came out of this whole turbulent past. I noticed when I was in the ecosystem, kind of vicariously looking in from the outside, as I don't actually build anything. I know the techniques, I can teach all I want, but don't ask me to build anything. I'll never finish. That said, I think I owned Athian for all of maybe 2 weeks before we started actually turning it around from this really toxic sort of like, why did anyone bother making this sort of thing, to all of a sudden, hey, look, it's self-sustaining, and it's been that way ever since. And I've been doing my best to make sure that everything has been as ethical as possible throughout the entire experience, which means I generally have to do a lot more paperwork than I want to do, and I have
Yes.
My screen went dark and my push to talk went away. Sorry about that. I guess that's a new quirk I'm going to have to fight with throughout this. But anyways, there's a lot of paperwork, and it's really interesting to see how it works out. But realistically, it's all just to make sure that everybody knows what the situations are, because no one was doing this 2.5 years ago. So they would just like walk in, and suddenly a contract would come in and somebody would get screwed over, or somebody would misinterpret something. And one of the first biggest things that we did is we just said, well, no, let's just lay it out clear, lay it out flat. And it seems that everyone else has picked up on that.
So I want to take a step quickly away from that for a quick moment and just see, because MindGauge, so our company, and I'll just take over for a brief moment if you don't mind, Lynne.
Lynne and I,
reached out certainly a little while ago, probably about a year and a bit ago, when we started doing a project to Athian, and we, saw some tremendous potential. The pricing was good, and I think that's for everybody, that's always an important thing. I'll echo chamunks' statements. I am a businessman. I'm a manager. I work with people, and I work with the teams, and I deal with that. Mainly, I work with the big businesses and try and bring all that.
Doesn't it ever sound like you know what you're doing?
I try to make it sound like I know what I'm doing. But realistically, one of the reasons why we've continued to work with Athian and the builders there is because I think you guys have a special approach, and it's something that I hope that actually quickly becomes not so special. I hope that, those of you who are joining, and I don't mean that negatively, but those of you who are joining in this panel right now, you guys are all, I assume, builders. You have a desire to be in the build environment. And what I want to point out here, why I'm saying I hope it doesn't become so special, is because I think the more builders that we get involved in the active Minecraft education community, the better it's going to be for our children, the better it's going to be for everybody else. And there are going to be monetization opportunities. Currently, they're few and far between, but there are going to be opportunities. And so this is something that I want you to speak to, Chamunks, as the leader of a build team, as the owner of a build team. What do you see for the future of Minecraft education partnerships with the build community and ways to sort of monetize that? Do you see that this potential is there?
Well, and that's the biggest question, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, Lynne very specifically has this wonderful quote that I repeat more often than I should without giving her credit. But I guess how are the people even going to know you're from Australia? But anyway, I'm sure I've said it once or twice. But anyways, you said, I think you famously said, sorry, all of a sudden someone decided they wanted to call me on my phone. You said specifically, teaching is the only job that you steal from home and bring to work. Everyone else does the opposite.
Yes.
Which is I think pretty much sums up the whole ecosystem. So when you walk in and the weather is that interesting, you have a very difficult time seeing potential. But realistically, when you think about it, there's plenty of other opportunities that are surrounding the situation that most people aren't even prepared to see. And yeah, I absolutely think that it will be something that could happen. If that sort of answers your question. I don't really want to necessarily spoil it too much. At least we've established something. Granted, of course, we do always make sure to open source stuff and give out things, because the more stuff when it comes to tools that, of course, we've been speccing out for the Minecraft EDU situation, the more stuff we give out to the community, the more talent picks up the skills to use the tools that we use to help us, help them, etc. And we can teach people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was just wondering if we could now talk a bit more about MineGauge itself, and the philosophy about why it began and what we've been doing. Garrett, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pass it back on to you, because we spoke on this very briefly at the beginning, but Lynne Telfer is actually my director of education. So Lynne has a long history as a teacher. I'm sure many of you that know her know this. She's very passionate about what she does. And as our director of education, she's had a major hand in guiding the direction of MineGauge. So from my perspective, though, I am a game developer. I'm a game designer from probably about the age of 7 years old. I started designing my first Dungeons and Dragons games. And, it just constantly flowed from there. And I found within Minecraft this absolutely amazing tool where I didn't have to be a graphic designer. I didn't have to be a perfect builder. I didn't have to be a coding or command block expert in order to make a game that would actually impact people and be fun. And of course, I'm very much on the role play scenario. So MineGauge, one of the core tenets of MineGauge is really about developing learning games. So creating the serious game methodology in the world of education, where kids get to come on board and play the same types of mini games that you guys are creating on a regular basis with your command block partners. And yet there's an educational component to it. And so my goal was always to kind of bring that in line with the mainstream education system. And luckily, I'm considered one of the thought leaders in that area, in that game-based learning field. And then, from the education perspective, the rest of it from MineGauge is really Lynne's tenets to explain. So Lynne, why don't you do MineGauge some justice and do yourself some justice here by explaining your perspective?
All right. When you first said back in April 12, 2 years ago, Lynne, are you interested in doing something educational with Minecraft? I jumped. I think I jumped to the moon and back for that opportunity. because I didn't really know anybody else who was actually interested in that sort of field, and I felt a bit isolated. I had no real understanding of how powerful it was out there. And I'm just going to tell you about my first programming experience. It was back on a Commodore VIC-20 with one of those cassette tapes. So that was my first game. And I've always loved game development, and I've taught it for quite a long time. And on the idea that game development was about using your creativity and wonderful things like that, and then getting into coding. But it's become so much more than that.
Absolutely.
And it's so much more. And with the start of Minecraft, where I suddenly found this beautiful, caring community that were willing to support me and laugh with me and go crazy, I discovered that there was so much more to Minecraft as well. When I started moving into helping out with the servers, to running a server, to setting up the plugins, and then meeting the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've been involved with. That's
got to be one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's amazing the skills that these people have. I mean, you just talk to it.
The sheer brilliance that I encounter every day just because of this environment. It's incredible.
It is, and that's one thing that really got to me as an educator, and as a person that is involved with MindGauge, is the kids have got some amazing skills out there, and we need to tap into that, and we need to make that valid in the classroom and in society. And that's where I've been very, very fortunate to work with Garrett, because we've done some really amazing projects in the time. We will be talking and actually showing those some of those projects as well.
And we have more planned.
Yeah, and we do have more stuff to show
planned.
off too. And
yeah, this never stops. I'm never going to retire. I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically, I come from the point of view not as a business person. I'm more the passionate educator, and sometimes Garrett has to say, "Whoa, there! Let's put some logic in, not all passion."
My big thing is this. I mean, you guys are all out there passionately building and doing what you love to do, and my job is to make sure you guys get paid. Right? That's the bottom line. I think, for me, it's everybody needs to eat.
And that's the thing, is that's what I usually tend to tell people. I'm like, I can enjoy my time doing pretty much anything. It's whether or not I can get paid to do that. That's the real trick, isn't it? That's always the good one.
This is why we need you. Because I'll say to Garrett, let's do Project X. This is a great idea. Woohoo. And you go, okay, let's work out the logistics. And then we work it out.
Because if you can get paid, it's
great
sustainable.
team. Yeah, exactly. And it's just been an amazing ride. And even the things that we go, you know what, that hasn't worked out because of this X, Y, Z reason. The amount of learning that has happened, I have not stopped learning since day one. And sometimes it's amazing to look back on that. And I thoroughly...
You pretty much have to write it down.
It's amazing, yeah. And so that's what MindGauge has been to me, is we've been able to bring a lot of those skills and everything into the classroom and make it valid. And I'm very excited about the future of MindGauge as well.
So we've talked a lot about MindGauge already. We've talked a bit about Atheon, and we want to get back to some of the work that Atheon's doing. But let's talk a little bit more about sort of the educational focus that is here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what everybody is here for, really. So, I'm going to ask the next question for you and chamunks, if you guys can briefly answer it. Why is education in Minecraft becoming such an important focus? And Lynne, you brought up a couple of points, so make some new ones.
I was just thinking, hey, I've already answered it.
And, even beyond why it's important just in the general education stream of things, why is it important for builders to start to become involved and to start to see ways that they can bring their experiences to bear on this world?
Well,
go ahead, John.
Lynne, you want to go?
No, you go first. It's all good.
Well, no, how about you go first?
Somebody go first.
I have an idea.
All right. What I am noticing is education is going through a revolution in terms of that we cannot just keep teaching content. We can't just say, well, you have got, 19 out of 24 maths, well done. We've got to be able to instill a lot more 21st century learning and thinking.
Yeah.
And because of that,
I'm going to stop you for a second, Lynn, just because the majority of people here are probably not teachers, so they may not understand what we mean by 21st century learning.
And I was about to explain that. So basically, we're looking at basic things like we're looking at critical thinking, problem solving, being able to work out your own methodology of learning as well, how to learn, and be lifelong learners as well. And those skills now are far more critical than they used to be, dare I say, when I started, because you're not going to be stuck in one profession for the rest of your life. The next generation are going to have
average. It's like every 19 months somebody has a new job.
Exactly. It's a fluid, evolving, wonderful, dynamic state.
I feel like somebody needs to make an app that just like lets you transition from employer to employer. So if somebody wants to take that idea, just like send me an email. I don't care. I don't want the money. Just let me know that you did it.
Well, isn't that exactly what we're doing? Because that's we're making it that these skills are now available for students, and that's where the future of Minecraft and education come together. Because we're already seeing those skills, as I said, and we want to make them valid. So we've seen that Microsoft have bought Minecraft, and I was scared at the start. I thought, why are they doing this? And their focus on Minecraft and education has been fantastic, and I'm very, very glad to be involved in that. And we'll talk about that a bit soon. But I think it's a very, very powerful direction that we're going, and the fact that teachers, educators, and people involved with the education sector are very heavily involved and listened to.
It's interesting that at the beginning you were mentioning modernizing education. I think it's absolutely phenomenal that Minecraft has essentially taken what used to be a two-dimensional learning plane and essentially, whereas like there have been a lot of 3D creation studios in the past, nothing has existed before that has been so immersive and so low entry fee. Literally 30 something dollars. What is it to buy it today? Like, I don't know. I bought it in like beta. I have no idea what it costs. But and they've taken what used to be a pen and paper and have created this 3D immersive experience that people can create a fully immersive world to put you into understanding and learning, and it's just absolutely amazing. I really wish that I had what the next generation is going to have.
I think we all
agree.
say that. I mean, if we look back at when we were in school, we're like, oh my God, I wish I was in school today.
It almost makes you want to redo it just for the heck of it, Like,
oh yeah, that's the beauty of being a teacher. I am getting to read.
I mean, they do say the best way to learn is to teach, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Well.
Absolutely.
To move forward, just because we want to be cognizant of people's time, of course. I want to kind of give people my perspective. First perspective I want to give is from the business side of things. Education is moving, and it's moving in a completely different direction. It's moving in a direction where game-based learning is becoming powerful. And I'm probably going to upset a lot of people when I say this. Minecraft was not originally put together to be a design platform. It is a beautiful design platform, don't get me wrong.
He didn't even come up with a good name. You do two things in it. Minecraft.
But one of the amazing things that we have the opportunity to do with education, especially with game-based learning, is for you builders to create these immersive environments. And I've seen you guys do some amazing things, whether it's recreating the human body, which I'm sure we'll show you in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So that students can actually go in and explore the interior of a human body, whether it's rebuilding a giant castle where students can go in and, explore the city of London, abundant like Blockworks has done. And we actually, I'll give a plug out to us. We came up with that idea well before.
Yeah, we did.
But you know, the ideas are there, and if we can create them in a way that captures children's imagination and allows them to play a game at the same time, that is where the power of education is going to be. So I think, you know, the fact that Minecraft or Microsoft put $2.5 billion into it and are still to this day investing heavily into the education side of it, that says to me as a business person that this is a ramping area of opportunity. And the secondary portion that I want to say in terms of the 21st century learning is it's not just about training you guys for the jobs that may or may not be tomorrow or the jobs that are flexible. It's about giving you guys an opportunity to develop your passions and learn to make money from those passions, which now that we've seen Microsoft put out the marketplace, you're going to start to see that type of environment even more. And I think the build community is really going to value or gain a lot of value from that. As well, if you guys can bridge over into education, you're going to be providing your amazing experience to kids to inspire them to do the same and hopefully build their own passionate business or passionate enterprise or work with a passionate build team to grow from there. So multitude of opportunities, I think, in the educational environment, from, you know, giving our kids a better way to learn, a funner way to learn, where it's not, all right, class, let's talk about Shakespeare, open up your textbooks to chapter, none of that anymore. It's let's go in and explore Shakespeare. So that's, for me, what's really big in terms of education, and why the mix of Minecraft coming into it is such an important focus.
Oh, absolutely. I cannot wait to throw away the Shakespeare activity sheet.
We're not throwing it away. We're putting it into Minecraft. Not
exactly.
Quite,
no, trust me. In a way, it does get thrown away because we do such a better job that the other one does not even compare.
Minecraftification of your worksheets. There.
Absolutely. We could do so much more than a piece of paper can even, you know, contemplate. In fact, one thing I'm going to be doing in the Mindfair convention that I'm going to be presenting at is I'm actually going to have a activity sheet in my hand about the topic I'm talking about, and my Minecraft character behind me will yell at me and tell me to drop it. So it's really important that we understand that there is so much more out there now that we've got this amazing virtual world where you can go any place, anytime, and interact in many, many ways. And one thing that I'd like to just very quickly talk about is, why do kids actually love Minecraft? And in this particular context, why do kids love building? What is it about the fact that I call myself a kid too, okay? Why is it that people my age, right down to the first person that gets, you know, hold of Minecraft as a young age, loves to put the blocks together? What is it?
I think it's just the simplicity. You literally just have an unlimited resource in which you can create. If you were to rewind the world about 20 years, you could look around and say, wow, I got to get a patent on an idea before I can create, and then I got to get money to be able to do this and then that, and eventually got to get copyrights and trademarks and all. No, I just pick up a pickaxe and break some stuff and create a thing. And you know, it's not tangible, but I've even gotten into conversations with people where I'm like, listen to this idea, and then I go into this rant and they start spacing out, and I'm like, oh my god, I've lost them. Let me spend 5 minutes in Minecraft and I will illustrate to you this idea, and you'll be like, oh, I get it.
Exactly. Yes.
So before I answer that question, I want to, we've got a lot of people in this panel here. And one of the big things that I really, really like to see is some interaction and some activity. And guys, don't think that just because this is a panel discussion and there's 3 of us up here, that you guys can't chime in with your ideas. So there is a hashtag masterclass panel chat area just up above. You'll see it up before the event rooms and before the voice channels. If you go in there, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that to make, please definitely put them in there. It's harder for us to kind of look at those questions on the on the server itself.
Well, that's the other thing too, is when I asked about what text channel to be in, I also got a DM saying about Q-and-A.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
then
the
I'd
one.
stick
Also
with
be
there.
another one option. So just keep an eye out, because I think we might end up with some disparity between attentions.
Well,
Yeah,
then let's keep
do
the
Q&A.
disparity settled, and we'll go with Q&A. So join us in
Wonderful.
there and ask any questions that you have. We're happy to. Yeah, it is there, Zane Locks or Zane Law. Okay, so my big thing in terms of why kids love building, it goes back to my day Lego. It's just free. It's open. You can do anything. If you want to be structured, you can be structured. I love building structured. I can't build these crazy, weird, Picasso-esque environments. I just can't do it. My brain functions on this very straight line approach. Okay, I want to see clean cut lines. I'm very modernist. And that's that. But that's probably why I'm not a builder, because I don't have that diversity of skills. But as a kid, when you get into Minecraft, you do it, and the second you place a block on top of another block and another block on top of another block, you start to see this level of accomplishment bridge. And from the perspective of child psychology, this is immediate feedback. You start to see your things coming together, and it's in a way that's unlike any other, because you can start to see it coming together, but then you can also gauge the functional use of it. You can use it as a shelter at the same time as make it look prettier. The other side of the equation is this level of iteration. Kids get a chance to kind of build on top of it and build on top of it and scale it out and change it and do something different. And this all leads to such a positive motivation. So that's, in my opinion, the three key reasons why Minecraft represents itself so well to children as they start building. And I'm sure the same thing, being able to let your imagination run wild and see it come together, goes for a lot of the builders that are here today.
No, I actually just saw a really interesting question by OK70. I'm going to call you that. I'm sorry if it's not how you want it to be pronounced, but I'm sure you can't speak up and tell me. He mentioned that a lot of the builders here may not actually know the physical differences. I can't see that close. Okay. It's on a tiny screen. I'm on my phone still. So thank you for correcting me. That they're like what the differences are. So between the PC edition, so Java edition, and the EDU edition. So do you have the ability to speak up on that, or is there some weird?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just within NDA, of course.
Yeah, within NDA. So basically, both Gary and I are very fortunate to be chosen as Minecraft Global Mentors. And with that, we've been working with the education edition of Minecraft, which is out there. It's absolutely fantastic. And on a website at educationminecraft.net, we have a lot of lesson plans that are up there, and quite a few resources, and we're quite active on that. And the education edition is basically for schools, and it's sort of in its infancy, and it's growing all the time. But I have found it to be an incredibly powerful version of Minecraft in the classroom, simply because I love the way that kids can set up servers at a click of a button. It's pretty much all LAN in a way. And because of the special educational features that are there, even though there's yet a lot to be added, I've found that kids have been able to use that particular version in a very, very effective way. And I haven't had to worry about, in the Java versions, setting up servers or, that sort of thing. Now, with the concept of the kids building and loving it, in the classroom, one of the things I do to assess students is to listen, because the language and the use of context that they talk about while they're building and collaborating is incredibly powerful. And I can't get that from an activity sheet. I really can't. They're not going to sit there and go, hey, look at question 3. Yes, it's asking all about, Shakespeare's lifestyle. What do you think? It doesn't happen.
I
So,
told you somebody else would do the Shakespearean voice.
Just
so
counting down the seconds,
basically,
right?
I've actually gone around and just listened, which is great because I'm totally invisible as soon as Minecraft's up. That I don't exist, but everybody else does. So I'm able to
You exist to us, Lynne.
So it's been really, really amazing that side.
I want to cover
to talk about the mechanics of and the physical differences between
please.
the PC and the EDU.
Allow me to cover that if you don't mind. Just because I did get where Kay was going on that. And one of the interesting things that this becomes an important thing for you guys as builders is right now the Minecraft Education Edition is built on the Pocket Edition platform. So it's basically built on the C++ coding that backs the Minecraft Pocket Edition, or I believe it's the It's got a name. It's not the Anvil format that we're used to. So it is quite a bit different. The build tools are not there. The other thing, as Lynne mentioned, is you guys will not have, unless you join and work with a team like myself and MindGauge and Atheon, you guys will not have access to the Minecraft education software to actually test it out or play with the new blocks or anything like that. But that's okay, because Minecraft is Minecraft is Minecraft is Minecraft, as long as we can convert it. And so we're looking into and we're exploring a lot of conversion opportunities, and those are coming as we see. And
maybe, just maybe, if people are super nice. No, I'm just kidding. We're probably going to maybe open source it, maybe sort of. I don't know.
Very good.
Or you'll be able to use it on our server, because shameless plug.
Yay!
Atheon, shameless plug. The most important thing to keep in mind is not really what the differences are. The fact is, still build the way that you build in Minecraft, and it will be able to be ported over to the Education Edition. The key element, and this is one point that I really, really want to focus on, is the only way for you to get your builds in front of the education community effectively right now is to have them combined with educational components, to have them combined with lesson plans. That's the way they're going to get the most visibility and the most marketing. And that's one of the reasons why Lynne and I, of course, with MindGauge, have been working very, very closely with the Atheon team, because there's some amazing stuff coming out of there that, we feel can provide some significant value to the educational community. So in terms of the differences with Education Edition, the big difference, of course, is you guys won't be able to necessarily access it. But again, that should not stop you from continuing to look at ways and talk with us and say, hey, what are ways that we can approach this to make good educational builds? And I'm sure we'll cover that in more detail in the next 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely. That's been one of the most exciting things for me as an educator, is writing the lesson plans that go with these amazing
and
virtual experiences. Thank you. I must admit, it's been fun.
I just turn them into games.
Basically, the way that Garrett and I work is I have an idea, pitch it to him, and then he makes it 10 times better, and it's so much fun. So some of the lessons that we've made are actually featured lessons on the website, which has made me very happy. Great for the ego for me, sorry. But we've now been working on a specific project which is dear to my Australian heart, and I'm been incredibly fortunate to have Atheon and MindGauge involved in this, and I've sort of been the client as the teacher, and it started way back when I realized that I've been given a week where I take over Minecraft education for a week. All mentors get a week. And mine's coming up in just over a week's time. And it happened to be...
soon, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so...
we started this whole thing in like January. What month is it?
I know.
Where am I?
And it's just been an absolute wonderful ride. Why do you say roller coaster? I don't think it's been any downs. But it's to the moon sort of ride. It's been awesome. and it's basically in Anzac Week, which for everybody who's not Australian, New Zealand, the Anzac people are the Australian and New Zealand I'm reading what I'm writing. the Australian New Zealand soldiers that went over to Gallipoli on April 25th, 1915, and basically stormed a tiny little cove and got stuck there fighting the Turkish army. And the reason it's important to us is because of the stories that came out of there about the Australian and New Zealand spirit and bravery and keeping the humour in very adverse conditions. And that became known as the Anzac spirit. And that's one thing I wanted to really focus on. And what better way than to approach a Brilliant Build team and say, hey, I want to walk on Anzac Cove. I want to actually be there. And I want to be able to create little NPCs that represent real people. And I want to be able to talk to them and get to know them. And one of the things we talk about is the historical figures becoming friends of the past. So that was my educational focus, is I want to get kids to really live history and understand the Anzac spirit.
And doesn't MC give you really the best tools for that? Like, you could even create, we already are working on resource packs for this, but like we can create all sorts of ambient sounds to replicate things, or just really go to town on it. I mean,
and create that
blocks. You could do pretty much anything now, and apparently they're on the EDU version. Just another little bonus to throw out there for
not yet
the previous question.
Yeah,
command blocks are not yet available on the EDU version.
Oh, not really. No. Okay, they're on the PE version.
They will be, but Education Edition runs a little bit behind the PE version, but we are looking forward to getting this soon. But I'm going to interject, if you don't mind, just for one quick second. So, Lynn, Pengu actually asked an absolutely perfect question. Where do we find a standard for visual representation of lesson plans? And I think it'll tie in with getting everybody to go check out the Anzac Cove map that was done. Pengu, the reality of it is, around the world, there are so many different teachers teaching so many different subjects in so many different ways, based on so many different curriculums, that there's no just one single standard for creating these visual representations. It really becomes, and when we look at a build, or we look at a world, or we look at something, or we see a teacher with an idea and we say, you know what, that's an idea we'd like to build. Again, it becomes framed up from the ground up. But I think we all know what we learn in school. We know that there are maths. We know that there are sciences. Lynn has a perfect example on the Mindfair server. If you want access to that, please send me a DM via Twitter or a tweet via Twitter. But she created an ant and literally split the ant in half and gave the kids an opportunity to explore the interior of the ant, the different body parts of the ant. These are the types of things that you guys can start creating if you have a passion for it. If you're missing anything, or you're thinking, I want to do something that's really, really special for the community, don't hesitate to reach out to us and just ask us, what do you think? Is there anything that, a lot of teachers are looking to have built right now? And we can talk about those ideas and talk about those things. And I do want to talk about, but we're going to run out of time, so maybe save it for a different conversation at a later point in time. Maybe
do we actually have a time limit? From what I remember, people were saying we could just ramble on all we want.
Yeah,
that's a dangerous weapon to give us.
I'm just trying to respect everybody else's time.
True, yes. In the UK attention span time. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
If I was over there, I'd have to be in bed. So the point that I was going to make, though, is just real quick to tie that off is, I can talk about sort of what goes into creating a good lesson with a world just after this. But I think we may as well show you by going to
absolutely.
Anzac. So /warp Anzac, ANZAC. And this is exactly what Lynn is talking about. This is a lesson in Australia that is always done. Every school does a lesson on this or finds a way to incorporate this. And Lynn's taken it and done an amazing job from the empathy perspective.
All right. So if you go to Warp Anzac, join me here. Can everybody get here?
I've put it into the chat too. So just in case, if you don't want to actually think, you can copy and paste it.
Now, I can't see if anyone else is here, so I'm not. Is it because everybody's in?
Everybody should be in spectate mode. I'm sure.
HTS all. Okay. All right. So I was going to take a screenshot of everybody being here. Would have been great for my new presentation. Damn. Okay. So that's all good. So what you are doing now is you are walking around. Oh, there. I'm seeing people. You're walking around Anzac Cove just as they had landed in these great big rowboats, which are completely uncovered, and they were getting sniper shot at. So on April 25th, they basically landed here, quickly set up these tents and supplies, and dug holes into the cliffs. And basically above them were all the Turkish armies, basically doing some great work at snipering. So on the first day, the 4 hospitals that they set up, 2 on that side, 2 on the other side, were full. And we had a great time researching this, and I'd like to do a huge shout out to Ike, who was a historian that really knew more than I knew, because
and it's your country's thing.
Yeah, and that says a lot too, because I've only had a chance to teach the basics. I've never had a chance to go off and research all this other extra stuff, like this ship here. I keep forgetting the name of this ship, but it's half sunk in the water because it was
pulling in listing at the time. And he was like, no, don't build that yet, because there's details you don't know. And even somebody had already built it, and Ike pops in, he's like, that boat is not on enough of an angle. And Dampu's like, excuse me.
It's quite incredible. And one thing that when we first got this map was I expected you guys to just build a small little cove and put some tents on and go, yep, there's Anzac Cove. No, you guys went off to GIS data and got the exact right data and the exact right landscaping. Okay. I mean, really, guys, how absolutely brilliant is that? So I was able to go to the historical pictures and stand somewhere on this map and then take a photo and then map it exactly to the historical photo. Now, that gave me chills as an educator, because I thought kids can do that. And that really sort of blew me away. And I started seeing for the first time, even after teaching this for a very long time, what Anzac Cove actually looks like. Okay. I feel, like people who can read a map and see it three-dimensionally in their mind are very, very skilled. My husband can do it, but I can't. So to be able to walk around like this was absolutely
it's really it was a pleasure to make that too. I asked for some advice in the group or in the ecosystem, and then of course people answered, and I'm good friends with Lynne as well, and he actually gave me the initial idea with the fact that he created the scale rendering of Earth, and he's been talking to me about some fun things with that I probably should keep quiet for his sake. But, he's talking about enlisting the usage of like scalable cloud rendering services using Amazon Web Services to pull off his next stunt whenever, if ever.
Amazing. And it was just incredible.
Keep talking.
Right. Let's just say the last project was a 75 gig map, so I don't know.
Well,
if
when
you'll
you
be able to download
spatial data, they get quite big. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's surprising. He looks at me and he says, "Cham, what? I'm processing Canada right now." And my data is telling me that it's basically a big swamp. That can't be right.
That's not right.
And I was like, well, there's this funny thing called the Ice Age. And now we have thousands of lakes.
There you go. You're an icy swamp. It's proven. Once you guys had built this, one thing that blew me away, and it's probably going to be one of my favorite memories, is by this time I had read a lot of the diaries of the Australian and New Zealand soldiers, and I could finally find the place where a certain person was very badly injured and where he crawled and where he was put on the stretcher and where he was taken down to the hospital area. And of course, for the Australian New Zealanders, we know the famous story about Simpson, who had his donkey, and he would travel up this path all the way up, getting sniper fire, and go and rescue as many people as he could and bring them down the mountain again, day after day after day.
It's a powerful story, and to have the kids be able to come into a map like this and actually walk around and live that story. To live that story becomes powerful, and that goes back to one of the big things that that Minecraft has to provide. And this is just one example, right, Lynn?
Oh yeah, we've got quite a few other different examples. We can quickly go through this, but
we could. I think I'm going to make a suggestion, and it's completely up to you. But we've got quite a few questions coming in here, and I think it might be appropriate to have a bit of a question and answer time.
I love that.
Address this question before going any further. Curry, 1336. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a leap, or a lease, or a leal. I know, if it was a 7, it'd be leet, like totally leet, man. But anyway, so Curry asked, overall, what is the end goal for MindGauge and teaching with Minecraft in general? Is there anything else you'd like to expand on in the future? As the founder of MindGauge, I can answer that wholeheartedly. I believe that the future of education rests in the field of serious games. So when you get an opportunity to go through a game, I remember my earliest learning experience in high school using a game where I went to class, I learned nothing. I played this game, I learned everything about history. And it was the old game Civilizations. And so what I believe in, and very truly believe in, is the power of creating these game environments where we don't just have a map. I see you builders as an amazing, amazing component of it, but not the only component of it. One of the other sides of it requires the command blockers. It requires the resource pack developers to really create a game environment that kids can play through from start to finish. And by virtue of that, they will have learned the concepts and the content that they need to learn. And I think that's the power of the future. So that's the one thing that we are working towards expanding on in the future. So if there's any command blockers out there, if there's anybody else who thinks they might be able to work in the game design side of things, please reach out to myself, reach out to Lynne, reach out to Atheon, and we can all work together in partnership to create some amazing, amazing games for the world of education, especially now that we have Minecraft command blocks coming into Education Edition. That's been, what I've been waiting for. I'm like a giddy little stalker. I'm not even kidding.
And we don't even, it's not even out yet, and we're already stockpiling stuff for it.
Absolutely. That's the amazing thing about it, and that's why I keep getting excited. Sorry,
just 1 second. I don't mean to interrupt. But I'm being poked with the good old, stage cane, saying that we're going to get pulled off soon. So,
no worries.
At least off the live stream, anyways.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I'm just doing a quick group shot here. If everybody wants to come to the wharf.
/warp. And Zach.
And then you'll see us all standing over here. Yeah, here they all come. Yeah,
Sorry, you go ahead. You're good.
Yeah.
I was going to say 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm cool with sticking around afterwards if you guys are, but I just wanted to make sure that we start wrapping up for the sake of the bulk of it. So if anybody wants to bail out, they're welcome to in 5 minutes. But
and if you have more questions, please fire them out as well.
Absolutely. And I'm also very interested in getting to know anyone who wants to get to known. So if anybody wants to be adding me on Discord or following me on Twitter, fire us some DMs. I
want to be got to known.
Right?
Yeah.
Can I be got to known too?
I'm also very happy to get connections on Twitter. I've got two different Twitters. Lynne Telfer, LYNNETELFER is my education one, And if you put MC, that's the YouTube one, which I don't use as much anymore because I'm really into the education side of it a bit more now. So please, yes. And if you go to education.minecraft.net, you'll see some of our lessons that we've done there, and you'll see a lot more from MindGauge account coming as well. So keep your eyes out for that as well. Now, someone asked a very good question, and I think it's a very important thing I do want to mention quickly is how do you get your teachers on board? And that's something that as an educator, we're also looking at in terms of Minecraft mentors. We're getting out there and telling teachers, hey, this is something that is very vital for your classroom in terms of getting your kids ready for the 21st century. And tell them about MindGauge. Tell them about the Microsoft Minecraft education site and get them to basically follow us on Twitter as well, because we have chats all the time. And Garrett can quickly talk about the Minecraft education chats that he runs.
Actually, Garrett, if you get a chance, it would be wonderful if you could plug the sites. I would say at least yours, because this is very Minecraft EDU stuff intensive. If anybody wants to be a part of anything that we're doing, I'm very open to a large variety of skill sets. A lot of my team say things like, oh, Cham, he's got no skills. I don't know why you're interested in hiring that person. And I'm like, well, quite frankly, skills can be trained and taught, but passion cannot. So
right on.
He's very interested in he, she, whoever is interested, please feel free to scrape together a response to our build team application questions, and feel free. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is we give you some pointers on how not to make a portfolio, so.
I'll also tell you this, if you start driving into sort of the education side of things as well, teachers, the vast majority of them out there will look at, even the worst quality build, something that I might do, because I'm not a builder, I'm not professional by any means, and be like, oh my God, wow, that is amazing. So, again, they recognize that there's a growth opportunity there. But as far as plugging the website, I am actually in the process within the next month or so redoing the website. So I don't want to plug it just yet. The best place to reach out to me is on Twitter at PBJellyGames or at MindGaugeEDU, and I'll put those in the chat as well. But I think, the big thing that you guys can rely on Lynne and I for, if you're looking to get into the educational space, and chamunks as well, because we're mentoring him at the same time to, kind of think about the educational side, is to reach out to us. Have that conversation. Go on to education.minecraft.net and take a look at the typical lesson plans that teachers are creating on there, and you'll start to get a feel for, okay, this is one of the lessons that a teacher is using. I wonder, how could I make this type of lesson better? And that will give you your sort of scaffolding. And then if you want to go further into the game-based side of things, definitely reach out to me. I'm an expert in that area, and I'm happy to help you guys kind of design your worlds around particular gameplay that will be exciting, especially if you have an idea for an educational adventure. That is my explicit area of passion.
All right. So I think we're going to be finishing up, but I think we should be able to
take a quick break to have a glass of water myself and a quick bio break, but then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Carry on.
All right.
I've just been pacing back and forth in this room this whole time. Now I'm sweating.
Hey, he's had a workout. We've just been sitting on our butt.
Yeah, gotta get my Fitbit going, right?
Just saying, we could actually show, link the warps, even if we don't get much chance to talk about them. We've worked with Athian in the past, making some beautiful, beautiful worlds. And it was more of a problem-solving game.
So the world that you're talking about that people can go to, which is Edu Medical, Edu Mars,
Yes.
and Edu Gaming, I believe. And Lynn, if you can put those, or I can put those in as well.
Yep.
But those ones were built actually for a large company that everybody knows, which is Intel. And it was for a game for the launch of their programs that we were consulting on. And the launch didn't actually happen because it was right around the time when we know the Minecraft community was exploding with anger when the EULA changed. And it was literally right at that time when the EULA kind of exploded this opportunity that we all had to really get into the corporate structures of the corporate builds and using it for marketing engagements. And it kind of destroyed it. But we had created this absolutely amazing, game with amazing mechanics. It was Spider Robot Man and Sparks, who are core command blockers, as well as Siberian Hat and Saul Garza. And we had this just absolutely amazing game. But the creations from the Atheon side were fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll link those in. But I'll let you guys kind of explore that on your own at the moment. Do download the resource pack. I think a big thing that I want to focus on right now is there are so many questions from you guys out here. One in particular for you, Lynn, which was from Froggy Frog. Are we talking about primary school only or also higher education? And if you can't answer that, I'll be able to answer that from the perspective of Joel Mills and my experiences in the higher education environment.
All right. Okay. I can talk about that in terms of being the classroom teacher as well. I find that the primary school kids are just on fire for Minecraft. And it's very, very easy to get them involved, especially when I teach my grade 6 coding class. I find that kids around the end of grade 10, it's around 16, 17, they're all getting a bit, Minecraft, no, I'm into whatever. And I have to sort of let them know that it's not about the Minecraft game at that point. It's about the learning experience as well. And then they understand, they really, really get it. So I find that it's valuable in both. And when the kids realize what they've learnt out of using Minecraft in this way, they see it as a very powerful tool, even if they don't like Minecraft as such, because they've moved on or whatever. So I definitely believe it is for all ages, especially now that it's becoming more and more powerful with the features involved and the amount of programming that you can put into it and the complexity. So I would say it is for both. Garrett?
Yeah. I'll have to agree with you on that. In terms of educational, and it's not just primary. You think about it, your kids are playing on Pocket Edition and everything like that. But, I'm sitting here. I'm not going to age myself. I'm going to say I'm over 30 years old, but I'm still 29 for the.
He is a puppy, please.
But, I still love this game. And I think there's lots of people in their older years who still love this game. One of the things that I love about Minecraft is the fact that it's so versatile. If you want to be a builder, you can be a builder. If you want to be a command blocker, you can be a command blocker. If you want to be just a game player and go and play mini games all day of your life, if you want to play first-person shooters, you can do that over on Hypixel. So there's such a tremendous amount of opportunity. And what that says to me for the educational environment is that we have the opportunity to meet people where they are. And that's the important thing. I even know of stories in the in the higher education environment where it's been used successfully. And I would encourage you to reach out to @iLearningUK, a very, very good friend of mine, Joel Mills. And he has done some amazing work with a graduate business class, a graduate project management class, using Minecraft to implement their projects immediately to scale with scarcity of resources in a survival environment and figure out their problems as you would on a traditional job site. So I
just want to point out that our live stream is now done. So if you want there to be record of that URL, should maybe type it so that people can click it.
Yeah, good call.
Anyway,
iLearning UK, Joel Mills. Yeah, very, very, very good question. Curry asked, how do you beat wary parents and those who roll their eyes at Minecraft thinking it's just
Yes, I like that question.
It's a very good question.
You know, everybody here has some element of enjoyment for building. Is Minecraft just a game? It's not. You guys use it. You look at these creations, it's being used as a design tool. To me, it's probably one of the most amazing game design engines. I'm talking Unity type engine that I have ever seen because of its ease of entry. It is so perfect, but yet you can do so much with it. So with Minecraft, like, sky's the limit. And when you have something that sky's the limit, it overshadows a traditional textbook more than anything else in the world. Because in a textbook, you know, a child's reading speed is the limit. You know, there's so many different limitations on it.
The other option too is if you're actually really looking to convince your parents that it's a positive thing. I mean, feel free. I think that this is recorded live. I don't know where the feed is. I didn't get any of that information, so I know that I'm just talking to the internet, whoever that is. But you feel free to show this to your parents. Like, there's an hour's worth of us rambling on about the potential. I mean, you're welcome to use that information to your heart's content. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we all, like, everybody here has impressive resumes. Lynne's been a teacher forever.
Yeah,
Garrett's been running his own company based on teaching for ages, and is also, I believe, a teacher as well. I can't recall.
I run a little workshops. Yep.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I also do.
Mentor.
Yeah, I do a lot at the college university level with entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Exactly, and entrepreneurship. Exactly. Then the other thing too is one of my other partners I have on the group, on the staff, is a master's in history studies. So he's also very talented in that regard. Like, we have wonderful long resumes when it comes to this sort of thing. So we can all be cited, and it's very credible. So plus we've got a couple of people who are on non-disclosures with Mojang themselves over things that we know that, you know, you don't. That we can't.
Exactly.
But help influence
and being
our
on the
decisions.
cutting edge like that is, being on the cutting edge like that has really, really helped us all. And one thing I would suggest is get your mum and dad on. Let them get on your account and say, "Mum, build a house, have a go, see what you can do." They will be hooked. They will be hooked because they're just like, we're all kids in heart. Trust me. They will remember their Lego days.
Telling me, they're like, "I hate that game. Why do you play it?" And I'm like, "Just play it for an hour." And all of a sudden, 8 hours later, every single one of them that said that to me is like, "Where did my day go?"
Exactly. I mean, look at me. Gosh, I got on because I was making sure my daughter was safe on there. She was, and here we went.
And now all of a sudden you're addicted. I bet you she's playing something else.
Hey, don't call Lynne a dick. That's not fair.
I think it's pretty fair.
I want to address another question out by Immortai. And Immortai actually brings up a fantastic point, and it's something that I think is very relevant for a lot of the people sitting here who are looking to get into the educational sphere. Don't do it for the money. That's my big thing for you. While I do my best and I work at looking at corporate contracts and corporate environments out there, and I'm always looking at finding a way to get this pushed into the educational environment for funding. The difficult and the tragic consequence of an environment where education is so underfunded is the fact that teachers cannot afford to just go and say, "I want to buy this build or buy this map or buy this or buy that." However, what I will say is when you get to the state where you're looking like MindGauge, my organization, I don't work for free. I'll tell you that. Bottom line, you know, stone cold, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do not work for free. Everything I do with, you know, and I've done business with Deloitte and Intel and Microsoft and many others. It's not for free. So what you have to do is you've got to get into environments where you know teachers who are able to find those connections. And that's one thing that, you know, MindGauge and Lynne and I are well, at least I'm pretty good at. Lynne likes to go for the free stuff. And I keep telling her no. But,
sorry, that's the teacher in me.
Freemium.
The reality is, Immortai, I am working on something with MindGauge where we are going to be providing opportunity for builders and build teams and build groups to start producing. But it's going to have to be in collaboration with command blockers and programmers. You've got to be producing learning games. We are going to have a monetizable strategy for you guys at some point within the next year. But it's not going to be
so
just
what you're telling me is that you've managed to find that make 'em doolers button, and you're going to be pressing it and teaching other people how to press it too.
Yes.
Awesome. Exactly.
Yes. I just got a really good question.
So start showing your worth right now, and and then
build a portfolio. You don't necessarily. We're not by any stretch of the concept advocating go out and exploit yourself just to give away free work for the sake of cookies and milk.
Not at all.
We just mean pay attention to what you're doing. Make smart choices to at least partner yourself. Partner yourself. That's the word I'm looking for. With people that are strategic and in the right locations, and make sure that they like you, because it will help. Basically one of my biggest jobs is to go around and do that. So
look, I don't care if I like you. I'll be honest about that. Straight up. I'm a business guy.
Garrett actually
he doesn't like me. No.
I'm I sit and I get along with people. I get along with everybody, but I don't need to like you to work with you.
This is accurate.
He tells me now. Good God.
Here's the biggest thing that I think you'll find in education, and this is probably one of the best pieces of advice that I can give to you. Educators are among the most passionate people on the planet. They are the people who get paid next to nothing to grow and develop the next generation and still deal with the next generation's bullshit every single day. Lynne can tell you.
We're not on the live stream.
I'm still recording.
I'm perfectly fine saying this because it is the reality. I mean, I know my niece and nephew are probably hellraisers in their school, but teachers do this gratefully, happily, and they bust their butt to do it. So if you come to the table, the biggest piece of advice I can give you, if you come to the table with a passion and proving a passion for education, not just a passion for making money, but proving that passion, and you will start to make those connections into the education quicker than you can think of.
You just gave me a whole
That's where the money is going to start coming in, because we want to work with those people.
This whole environment is going to teach people in the Minecraft ecosystem, and I didn't think about this until just now, how much empathy we can create for teachers.
Yes, please.
Through this whole mechanism, because the struggle is real. Like it doesn't stop. Yeah. Like the world is going to fight you every day of your life. You're gonna have to learn that that's how it is, and that basically it's okay because the world's gonna keep spinning. And tomorrow you'll still be you. So hopefully you'll still at least have some ambition left tomorrow, because the day that you don't have ambition is the day that you've basically retired from life.
Well, one thing that us teachers have is a thing called the aha moment, where you can see the student get it and that you live for. And I've just got a good question from a good friend of mine from way back, Mello. And that was about the idea of it for special needs students. And I'm going to show you with a very quick story. There was a special needs student in a maths class that I didn't teach, but I got to know pretty well because he kept getting kicked out, and he sat in the staff room with us a lot. He would show his frustration by walking out of his maths classroom and throwing little pebbles at the window of the teacher's window. And that was his way of saying, I'm not getting this, I'm not, coping. But when he was sitting with us in the staff room, I was able to teach him, and he was great. So he needed that particular
Lynne,
type.
I'm so proud of my nephew. He was the worst ADHD child, and now, because people have gone out of their way to learn how he learns, he literally just scored the smartest kid in Ontario.
Oh, that was beautiful.
In grade 4. I was just like, I'm so proud of that boy. I'm like...
And yeah, it's a beautiful thing that happens. And one thing that I did run was the Minecraft club, and he came to that. And he was able to show he had incredible people management skills. And he was able to do it because he was able to type it. And when you're typing, everyone's equal. And people listened to what he had to say for the first time. And then I saw him months later in his humanities class. He had made an ancient build. I'm not quite sure what it was. And for the first time, I saw him sitting up straight, which is what got me. He was sitting up straight with a smile on his face. And there were people around him talking about what he was doing. And the pride in his face and the confidence in his face is something I will never forget. And so the answer to that is yes, absolutely. Minecraft allows kids with special needs to absolutely shine because they can finally show off their really amazing skills in a way that they don't get judged and they're listened to. So, yeah, and my daughter's ADHD, and we're about to go through today fractions. Yep, you too. And the only way I can get her to do fractions is not the activity sheet. She was in tears the other day, absolutely in tears. We're going to do it by putting blocks together, and we're going to make So we're going to put blocks together, and we're going to make a YouTube video today on how to do fractions in Minecraft and teach her concepts that way. And she'll be having a smile on her face and not having that horrific feeling of I can't. And that's something we're going to get rid of.
That's the worst thing. I was listening to a podcast. It's not really a light and fluffy podcast, but it's called Triangulation with Leo Laporte. And he was interviewing a guy who authored a book, The Imagination Gap. And in one of the key points in his book is he was talking about the fact that basically every day teachers and people in our community are always saying, well, that's a little bit harder than you think it is. Maybe you shouldn't take that stretch. Maybe you shouldn't go that way. And it's like, why are we smashing creativity?
Yes.
So hard. It's easy to get back once it's gone. You just have to be careful. But it's so easy to let it go. It's depressing.
It is depressing, and that's something that we're fighting in the classroom because we all have to get our statistics correct with our teaching and our ranking of the schools, and so it's a really hard push.
Well, okay, Lynne and Garrett and every other wonderful person that was here tonight, thank you so much for lending me your ears. I really appreciate it.
Make sure you give them back.
I'm going to be taking off. It sounds like my family's winding down upstairs, and I want to go at least have a conversation or so before they leave. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a wonderful evening or morning,
all right, guys.
whatever it is.
Thanks everybody for joining us.
You
please
guys can stick around, but I'm going to bail.
I think it's pretty much time for us to
fair enough
close it.
The questions have dried up as well, so
but if you do come and check out those links that I've been putting up on the chat. Right now I'm at Edu Gaming, so come and join me there, and I'll keep chatting to you on the server. Yep.
Before though, I think, let's do one more round of sort of Twitter addresses and other things.
That's a really good idea.
Plug for Minecraft Edu, which I didn't get a chance to before, but I want to now. Just before we close it up, and before you say goodbye, Lynne, because you are the queen of this panel. I'm just the lowly slave coming in. She dragged me by the collar.
This is true. This is true.
So, just to give you guys an idea, if you want more information and you want to start connecting with educators in the Minecraft community, the best way to do so is to follow the hashtag MinecraftEDU. And I'm going to put it in here. And this is something that myself and Mark Grindell run a weekly Twitter chat on. And it's a Twitter educational chat. It lasts for an hour at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week coming up, it's actually at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, which is 8:30. Yeah, sorry, it's at 8:30 p.m. GMT. So make sure that you're starting to kind of keep an eye on that chat. Follow me on Twitter at PBJellyGames. And you can definitely reach out to me. My DMs are always open, so feel free to DM me. If you talk shit, then, I'll just end up, blocking you, but that's I don't assume any of you guys will. But the
Yeah,
Minecraft Edu Chat is a great hashtag for you to start connecting with educators and seeing what types of activities they're up to and how you can improve them. Somebody said up in the top that some of the educational builds that you've seen are crap or are poor quality. I understand that, and the reality is, a lot of the educators are not super builders. So make sure that
that's true.
you keep your focus on trying to help them. I think if our goal is to drive forward the next level of our community, drive forward our students, bring more games into the classroom, game-based learning, then we as a big build community have the opportunity to really show teachers how it can be done without dragging the fun out of it. And I know with poor quality lesson designs, even, it's very much a glorified worksheet. And I'm constantly on the push to say, no, you can't just do the same thing you're doing in a regular classroom and throw it into Minecraft and say, just build up 6 blocks to tell me what the number 6 is. It doesn't necessarily work like
exactly
that.
right.
We've got to add the engagement, and we can't disconnect people from the game itself. So anyway, that is it.
All right.
Follow Minecraft Edu. Follow Lynne Telfer at Lynne Telfer, and you can follow PBJellyGames myself at Twitter. And if you guys let me know where you know me from, that would be helpful, because they do get a lot of people following me.
Ditto. Yes. And I would like to thank yourself, Garrett, for coming on. It's just been a pleasure working with you for the last 2 years, and
I know.
for the next 20. It's going to be incredible time. We do have this amazing opportunity with the building community to go forward and build an incredible educational experience for our students and our future generation. So keep an eye out for us. There's a coming conference, Mind Fair, that we're going to be doing some things in, and we've got so much coming up.
Let's plug that, actually. If any of you guys are in the Houston area, what's the dates, Lynn?
May 2021.
So May 20 and 21. If you guys are in the Houston, North America area, make sure that you attend. This is another convention. The people at Mind Fair are fantastic, because what they're doing is they're also trying to merge the entertainment stream of Minecraft with the educational side. So you'll be able to meet up with Lynn and a couple of others there. I will also, for those of you who are going to be at Mindvention in Belfast in July, make sure you touch base with me there. I will be there in the educational zone, working with the likes of Stephen Reed and Stephen Isaacs and a number of others. Also hanging out with, Nettie and Tom and everybody like that. But make sure, if you guys are going to be at any of those conventions or events, do let Lynn or I know, so that we can make it a point to actually shake your hand, or if you're an alien and you only have flippers or gills or something like that, then we can shake that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm a koala, so they'll easily pick me up if I mean.
There you go.
So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I will say that there's a lot of people in the panel that I'm actually a great fan of. I basically fangirl over builders. That's the thing I do. Love Kevy. So thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with us. And I'm going to sort of stay around. I'm going to actually start building again, because I haven't built for so long, because, there's this guy
who wants to teach me how to build.
Yeah. Kevy will. So I'm going to go back to a plot, and I'm going to just make something fun, probably evil, because I like make evil stuff. Anyway.
We've got I'm going to fangirl as well, because we've got Jason King here. Good God.
I know.
I mean, I love you, man. I absolutely, I fangirl over your stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I can't talk as well. So.
Oh,
yay! All this time you could have spoken to us.
I know, I could have spoken.
And Kevisaurus as well. 2 people that
Kevy's amazing.
Always fangirled over their stuff. So
yeah.
So I love your guys' stuff as well. I love hearing everything to do with education. Just love it, man.
See?
It's definitely something that I'm interested in.
Oh, we've got you.
I'm
not rubbing my hands in glee at all.
Yeah. No, it's great stuff. Great stuff to hear. I'd say you guys are doing really well with it, with everything as well. So I'm really impressed.
What up, Jason?
Hey.
Yay!
Who else we got?
We got a lot of people here.
Yay! Yeah, everybody, you can talk now.
Oh,
We're pretty much
we
done.
done?
Yay!
You done? All right, all right. Before
Hey.
things get carried away, I have been waiting for the past 4 hours to spit the hottest freestyle of the year.
Do it
Oh,
by
my
the-
Switch over to general chat. You already know what we're doing. You can shut my
All right.
stage crew.
Okay, guys,
Go
I'm going to
PRQ.
general chat now.
Yeah, general chat.
I want to hear some fire.
Yo, what up, everybody? One Quad Tyronnell, Junior Jackson, Junior the Fifth in the building. We got my stage crew on my right hand. So, all right, this is how it's gonna work. Just like we did earlier. I need one of you to give me a nice song, good rap song that I can rap over.
Oh, good rap song.
Let's get a rap song in a second.
It's not going to be from me. I am so musically untalented. It's crazy.
Let's have a half rap battle. You already know what it is.
All right, I'm going to head off to a chat room. Which room? Oh, there's
And-
no one in there.
I'm
Chat
going
one.
to head off to actually go take care of some animals outside that I have to
Yay!
That sounds
Um,
fantastic.
Yeah,
But
go
listen,
milk those
yeah,
horses.
Yeah, well, I tried that once and got kicked in the eye. Well, listen, Rap Master, you have
Yes.
yourself a blast, and
Yep,
I wish
have
you the
enjoy.
best of luck on the rap. Everybody else, have yourselves a very, very great rest of the BuildCon. And if you see me on, just drop me a say hello. Jason,
Yep.
we'll stay in touch and we'll talk
Will
at
do.
some other point in time.
Yeah, we certainly will. All right, guys,
Yes.
thank you for hanging out with us. I'm going to head
Have
off
a
to a
good
chat
night.
room.
Have a good night.
Okay,
Peace and blessings.
bye.
Thank you, guys. Alrighty.
All right, me and Jason, we got rap gods up in here. All right,
Alright, we need some battles. I want to hear a bit of Kendrick backdrop music.
Okay, okay.
Let's get into that
What's
going.
Kendrick dropped? He did drop stuff. I don't know any of the songs. I heard DNA good, but I don't know if they got like the beats up on it yet. This might be it. Came out a day ago. Like, is this the right song? Oh, when this comes up, is that the right song? All right. Anyways, what is it? All right, let me do a quick audio test. So everyone, here's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna be in here. We are in the general chat. I'm gonna need all y'all to just drop the random words, random topics, and we're gonna put it in this freestyle. So that's how this works. And I'm gonna be freestyling. So he's gotta put stuff in chat. I'm gonna do a quick audio test, make sure we're all good, and we shall get started.
Awesome.
Wonk Tyronnell, Junior Jackson, Fifth. I got a lot of spliffs in my face. Cause it's your boy Wonk Young Kwa. Let me get it audio test. Alright. See, now my computer freezing up. It's crazy. It's crazy. See who we got in here. Dick Did, Aztec, Brother Leon, Convex, Cuddly, Cyber, Dom, Firehawk. We got Glowy Glowfish. We got Wyatt. We got Mr. King, Mr. Kev, Kitty Squids, some Quave, La Qua Qua, La BDs. We got the Dark Fang, Pancho. Okay. We got a lot of people. Captain. All right, let's get it. So we need all y'all drop stuff in the general chat. Anything at all. Let's get it. Wonk Tyronnell, Junior Jackson chilling on them. We gonna hit them with some hoop beats. Cause we winning every class. Ping something master class. Hey, yo, it's your boy Wong Kwa in the building. We wooing on them. Education coming through. Ooh, teaching history. And our financial history gonna be mysteries. Cause we living up in the town, never frown. Blender logo, we put them in the blender. 3D modeling and 3D dumping about that weebs, cause that's what Glow be doing. Watching anime like Josh, but he never fluent. Yo, my name is Joe, and I'm back once again. I broke up with my ex-girl, and here's her number. One Kwa. I ain't never slumber, never slept in my life, but I'm just gonna fight on his mic. Choo choo, walking to the crew. My house is bigger than Mexico too. Kendrick just dropped his new album yesterday. I know that, but you probably wasn't reading chat in the hash with the flack. I don't like to eat a crack. Psych! That's the wrong builder. Hey, let me get it. Vapescape on the 17th. Sub to Quine YouTube, cause he's phenomenal. 022-1906-694. Here's my girl's number. On site, that's your mama's number. Get that ish memorized, cause I got a lot of fire. School should have a course for history and one quad too, cause that's some history. Like that NPC, that's one quad. You already know it's so good, but I'ma go rada-ta-ta-toe. Hey, one quad. I don't know what just happened on this beat. Think people blowing up. One quad. We getting it. I don't know. Hey. I think this beat is blown up. Give me some build teams. Give me some build teams. Give me some build teams. Give me some build. Need more. Give me all the build teams. Bayron, Bases, Battleground, Everbloom, Studios, Block, World of Corrales, Atheon, Imagination, Atheon 2. You already know it's Activine Crew. Oh, let me get it. Well, I spit it. I'ma spit it so fast. I don't know what this crap is saying, but I'm just going hot fire flaming. What? I need more build teams. Mind flex. Get them out of 2. I need more. Blockworks. Clockworks, area, Lynne's craft. Let's get it all. One quad, hit him with a Give me some build team. We got Pandora's Blocks. We got Blockworks. We got Grand.net. We got Ava. We got everyone up here. We got Build a Team Craft. We got Astrium. We got me. We got One Quad Nation. We got Get in that Explorer. Get it XD. That worked. That's crazy song. I wasn't expecting that.
That was wonderful. Yeah, that's a beat drum, man. Switch up right there. Come on, we need some song suggestions.
Yeah, drop some song suggestions in the chat.
Oh. Oh, actually.
My bad. I had my mic muted. I was talking to the stage crew, you know. Yeah, rap panel. You know, let me base a little announcement. Where are we? Events chat. At everyone. The rapping class is in panel room 1. Hope to see y'all there. Man, let's get it. All right, let me render this track out. Hey, what should we call this past track? Let's call it DNA. We're gonna call this some we're gonna call this some Quine. Oh, pen right there. My bad, talking stage crew again. All right, we're gonna call that Quine. Oh, you want a rap battle? Well, you're gonna need to get some permissions for that. One Republic, counting stars.